my other host, Nigel Francis. So we welcome you and you and you. Welcome to Connecting the Dots on DBS Radio. Welcome, friends. Bienvenue. Another time for us to connect, right? So an early start today because we have a few people to connect with as we speak to Dominicans residing in Grenada and Dominicans residing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines SVG. So they will talk to us about their experience with monster storm Hurricane Beryl. And we really hope that connectivity is not an issue today, but we'll make things work. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Are your fingers crossed, Nigel? Do you remember Freeze Mission Stay?
Mission Stay?
Freeze Mission Stay. So I was saying that we have
Freeze
to keep our fingers
yes,
crossed.
yes. Freeze Mission. Yes.
You played that?
Yes,
You played that back in the day, Nigel?
You had to stay. Kisser?
What? Freeze Mission Stay? Like when you lock your fingers, you cross your fingers.
Oh yes, man. Yes.
Nigel, you 2D man. Now up in the morning, the early morning thing there.
The early morning have me going there. I'm trying to put it together. It's like a throwback.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Yes, man. So yeah, Freeze Mission Stay. I used to play that as well. I used to like to play Freeze Mission Stay. It was a favorite pastime of mine back in the day as a little girl. But things have changed. Yeah, so I was just thinking that maybe you have a strange feeling now because we have jumped half an hour before. Do you normally get up early? Are you an early riser? What question is this?
No,
early riser?
I am not an early riser. Well, it depends on if it's Triple K song or not.
Okay.
But generally I'm not an early riser.
Okay, all right.
No, I can stay up for you all night, How they say it, I'm not a morning person. That's how they say it, right? Yeah.
Okay, you're not a morning person. Okay, but you do fine.
I typically will stay up, all 1, 2 in the morning, and like, damn, I gotta get up for tomorrow morning.
Yes, I.
So yes, one of those things, So the half hour was like, oh man. Means I gotta get up a little earlier than I normally do. So, but here am I. You know what I mean? Listen, we're connecting, and that's the important thing. Yes. I'm here. Yes,
you're here. And that's good. I was just making mention that Nigel is already the 13th of July, and see how quickly the time is flying. So it's almost like halfway through July.
It's halfway through July already. Mm-hmm. Before you know it, August rolls around, back to school, and then and then here we go.
Yeah,
man. Yes. The time is flying by very quickly.
It is. It's so obvious that it's flying. But Nigel, fine weather today, sort of. We have a soup in the Commonwealth. We have rain. We have sun. We have Saharan dust haze. So if you mix that together, they make a paste like a pap. Oh my goodness.
And I got nice booyah now. You have booyah weather.
Yes, booyah weather. I tell you, pap. What pap there in the Commonwealth. Mm-hmm. But how are you doing, Nigel? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Like? I'm doing well. Week was good. Can't complain. And then weekend is here, so I'm doing well. Mm-hmm. It's not as cool. It's probably not as hot as yet. Yesterday was extremely hot, but so far it's like mid temperatures, which is pretty nice. Mm-hmm. Not that much rain or anything else. So I'm hoping it can stay that way and can be cool for the rest of the day.
Yeah, nice.
Last couple of days were very hot, but I'm doing well.
Well, that's good to know. Well, I myself, I'm cool, just rolling with the punches. I'm going easy, Poco. Staying in my lane, taking a little knock, now and then,
Yes, you're just drinking water, man.
Minding my own little business, man.
And you're in your little lane.
Yes, in my hole as well. Yeah. Nigel, anyone in the classroom today? Nigel, you're laughing, man. Yes, when I maybe think I'm a clown sometimes. So.
Yeah, you stayed in your hole, so
I stayed in my hole. Yeah, something like that. Anyone in class today, Nigel?
Well, I think there's a few that might come in. Well, we can't say they'll be late for class today because they'll be early but late for today.
Okay, yes.
Because we had the earlier start for them, so we kind of throw them off, But Edwina London, no matter what time you start, they'll be there. So good morning to you as well from Houston, Texas. Mm-hmm. Jacqueline Stedman, always early. Good morning. Liz, good morning to you. Well, you know, you need to check the YouTube people before they say
What
anything.
for you, Nigel? But
Yes,
check
we
them
need to
really. You
make
have to
sure we
check
keep
them.
checking on them, you know.
Yes, we
So
have
Sandra
to. We have
Sayers,
to.
good morning to you as well. Hoping you have a happy weekend. And as I said, the regulars will come in a little later.
So you did
They're
not
still
disseminate the
in,
information enough, Nigel?
well,
They're going
well,
on.
yeah, but they're
Did
on the
you?
bus still, I guess.
Okay, so you did not do your job completely, or I just want to know if I should write to you, or call him. You know, the producer, the chief producer. Yeah, easy now,
Yeah,
Nigel. Is he
maybe
on?
he's at fault because he's not there yet. So
Oh,
blame
he's
him.
not there yet. Okay, all
Yes,
right.
he on the
So,
bus still.
well, I'll give him a detention as well.
Yes, the bus running a little late this morning. So
Okay, all right.
yeah,
I comprende.
yes, the bus is
Yes.
running late. You know, so as we said, it's going to be an interesting morning. We hope
Well,
the
yeah.
connection
Yes.
connectivity is
Yes.
there.
Yeah. That is
We
it.
can get through to
But we'll make
everybody.
things happen. We'll make things
Well,
happen.
you know, we
We wanted
always
to
do
do
it
this maybe
there.
sometime last week, but it was too early because obviously you have to understand what happened in these two countries
Yes,
and the fiber optic cable and all of that, blah blah blah.
yes, yes,
So we
yes,
decided
yes,
to do
yes,
this
yes.
today. And by the way, let's reach out Nigel and touch Joe P, whose mom was laid to rest on Friday yesterday, and also let's touch Carl Kofi James.
Kofi James as
Who
well.
will
Yes,
lay his mom to rest sometime soon. So he should be coming to DA. Yeah, to do
for
that.
that particular
Yeah.
occasion, not the best of times, but
Yes, I tell you, not the best of
um,
times.
as I say, where there's life, there has to be the other side, right?
That's
So,
it. That's
put our
it.
condolences to them, and of course,
Mhm.
continue to hold strong and hold
Mhm.
on to the beautiful memories that you
Mhm.
had
Mhm. Mhm.
when they were around.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Definitely so, definitely so. What's happening in the Commonwealth? Commonwealth is good.
Well, yes, and
Okay, all
Commonwealth is
right.
going okay. As usual, as I tell you, there's a pop happening right now, so the booyah is not thick like a paste, but it's okay. Let me big up as well, Nigel, Papa Creole, Gordon Henderson, and he had a magnificent performance, splendid even in Martinique
Yes,
this
in
week.
Martinique, right?
Yes,
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 yes. Continuing to continue not just to blaze the trail, but continuing to ensure that trail remains.
yeah, that's it, that's
Laying
it.
down new foundations, bringing in new people into exile. One in terms
Yeah,
of some musicians that he's having now. So all those that were part of that.
yeah, that's
We
it.
certainly say thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, and
Yes.
Asa Banton, of course, continues to shine wherever he goes, and
Oh yes,
the
oh yes.
requests for
Asa is
Asa are
doing
many.
great things. He's actually going to be in, I think, North Carolina for the first time.
Okay.
For the first time, they'll be having, Dominican on center stage. So Asa Banton is going to be part of North
Yeah,
Carolina.
Asa knows
So
how
that's
to feel his crowd and rock
wonderful.
his crowd. So yes. So sometimes I wonder when Asa goes to certain places like okay, North Carolina, maybe to us next time. But when he goes to places like Belgium and other places that that their culture is
Yeah.
just totally different. Obviously you have Dominicans all over, but in terms of a mass gathering of Dominicans, so I'm thinking that how do they get that vibes? But then I've seen videos, Nigel, of Asa performing in places you never thought that people would have accepted the music that way, and even learn to dance, and so that's very good. So we really have to big
Yeah,
up
yeah,
Asa
yeah,
for
yeah.
this.
They dance their own way. They do their own thing. Music is
Yeah,
a
yes,
universal
yeah. Oh
language, so
yes,
they
it
do their
is.
own.
It
They do
is.
their own thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
However the rhythm sway them, they do their thing, even if it's not in time or if it's too much in
Yes,
time or off
yes.
time or in
I
time or
know.
whatever. They don't.
Yes,
They
yeah.
don't care.
The enjoyment is
They're
there.
having fun. And what I like about them is that they seem to be having more fun than anybody
Man,
else.
boy, there's a fun to it. Why
Yeah.
look walks. Look walks we
the
Nigel.
music one place, and they're having fun. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's
You
okay.
know,
That's okay.
that's okay.
Yeah,
We don't
man.
mind that.
I
As
tell you.
long as you're enjoying yourselves and you're giving us the opportunity to showcase our music, we're there for you.
We there, and that's what we want as
Yes.
Dominicans as well. It's really nice to see this. Carlin XP, by the way, Nigel released a new song. What is the name? A mango song. Mangolika, something like that. Mangolika, yes. So it's Mangolika. If you say it like
Oh,
Mangolika, and I'm
I
thinking
haven't, I haven't, I
Mangolika.
haven't put touch on that one yet. So
Okay,
when we're
yes.
done, you have to make sure I go listen up to that
Yes, I
one.
think Fadul would have played it yesterday and today, and so I haven't really listened to it, but I just got the gist from just the opening of it, and very nice as well, using the whistle rhythm, something like this, like what Triple K did. But yeah, it will, yeah, it's one that will really ride the waves in DE and other places as well. So hats off to her as well.
Nice. Well, I'll definitely be taking a listen up to that one.
Yeah.
And going ahead with it and see what's up.
Yes. I hope Nigel will make the connection, right? You spoke to the people.
Well, yes. We spoke to the
Okay.
people. But,
I tried reaching
one of them
this morning. I did not get through on WhatsApp, but I did not try straight. So let's see what happens.
Yes.
Let's see what happens. But we'll make it work somehow.
We'll make it work.
If we have to utilize the telephone lines,
yes, if we have to do it via telephone, then we'll have to do that. If we'll see what happens for sure.
Yeah. But Nigel, guess what? Load management is back in the air.
Oh,
Emergency outage and interruption to electricity services back on the books at the time when we have extreme heats. So this is really compounding the issue, Nigel. So I went home last night and
and they had to load shed.
Boy, I really hope this will not be a long-term problem and that relief will come soon,
Yes, well, we pray for that, and we hope as they continue to work on alternatives that at some point we will have that will be a thing of the past.
Yes, I hope so myself.
But in the meantime, you have to keep listening to DBS now.
Boy, Nigel, and all the lanes.
You used to listen anyway, but now listen to DBS even more.
All the areas and all the lanes and everything.
Yes, they might be load shedding you at this point and that point for a couple of hours. Yes, I guess it's a dry season too, right? So
extremely dry.
Dry. We
have had a lot of heat.
It shouldn't be really dry season now.
Well, right now it's a mixture, but I mean, when you consider what we had, earlier on, months back, in terms of the weather and the heat, you'll understand. And when you get rain, what happens when after a place had so much sun, and then it gets rain, what can happen. But let's hope that it will not be as bad as last year.
Well, we hope so. We definitely hope so. But in the meantime, listen up so that you are aware when is your area that's going to be experiencing the load shedding.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's for what, couple of hours? It's like for 2-3 hours.
Couple is 2, right? Couple is 2, or you'll be just stretching.
Couple is 2.
Okay, so like take 8. No, maybe not 8. That's exaggerating. 3:30 to 8:30. So let's take 5 hours in some cases. Maybe
so like
6
5 hours or so.
So that's a lot. That is a lot. We have had 8 hours, last year. So. Yeah.
So what you have to do is to listen to where they have in load shedding. Where they don't have it, then you have to go there and then come back to another area where they have it.
Yes, with Nigel. So people like me that do not have AC at home, Nigel, sometimes I have to find my way going back to DBS just to sit there. So I have a neck fan, and I also have a handheld fan. So I need a foot fan. Oh yeah, boy. Yeah. These are the days.
We've grown used to that, I guess.
My goodness.
Yes, we've grown used to that. So the load shedding is on. So make sure you're doing what you have to do.
Yeah.
In between, I try and check to see.
Yes, try and check. So you send them.
See if they send me any message.
You send them a link and all of that, right? I mean, that was your job.
Everything is there. We send
right.
them. But if you hear a story, that link.
Oh yeah.
So I send the link to one of the people who's supposed to be on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in her good intentions, and I'm pretty sure she thought she was doing the best thing, She then sent me a text and said, "Oh, I got it. Everything is good. I forwarded to as many people as I could." So if everybody had power and everybody and all who she said it to.
Well, that is going to,
Mimoon.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Mimoon, and it might also interrupt the flow. But we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens.
So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. We'll connect soon.
The thing is, the link said 9:30 though, so that's the issue right there. So. But that's okay.
It's all right. Okay, Pali.
I kind of caught it late, I'm like, kind of caught it late that the link we sent to join said 9:30, so. I'm guessing and thinking that they will be.
They should be on by now. They should be coming on now.
Yes.
So let's just go with the Dominica corner, Nigel, and then we'll pray, and then we will bring on whoever we have at that time.
Yes.
As I say, we can't stress them too much because they are already in a stressful situation.
Yes, and they are, they are going, doing us a bit. Well, I don't say a favor because we're sharing it with everybody else, but they're really trying to make sure.
They're really trying, yes.
you know. Okay, somebody tell me yes, we're ready.
Okay, all right.
But if you're ready, join.
Join.
Maybe
Yes,
you're
just
ready.
come on. Yeah. So let's wait for at least until 3 of them come on, and then we
Yes,
can start.
the last contact that I just sent to you, she's the one that say yes, we're ready.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know if she. I don't. Let me wait. Yes, we're ready. What does that mean? Does that mean? I don't understand what that means yet. You know what that means? You say yes, we're ready.
Yes, you're ready.
Yeah, okay. She say yes, we're ready.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Nigel, we have to make this work here today. We have to make this work. But let's go with Dominica corner.
Yes,
Worcester,
well, the fact,
your turn, man.
The fact she was able to send me a message and say yes, we're ready, it means we can.
Yeah. I get.
We'll be able to talk.
I have a feeling that's going to work. So it's time for the Dominica
corner.
What?
Let's pray.
Yeah, you want to pray first and then we go to Dominica corner. Okay. You have to pray nearby. Yeah, you want to just say a prayer.
Let's see. Yes. Heavenly Father, creator of mankind and the universe, we thank thee for the gift of life today and all the blessings you continue to bestow on your children. We seek your presence and intervention throughout this program, and we ask that you keep us connected always. We also pray for the success of the program, its coordinators and listeners, that they may find purpose and enjoy what we share. Bless our radio station and the nation, and may we grow to love and unite with each other, irrespective of our differences. All this we ask in your name, now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
And amen.
And amen.
Yes.
So
beautiful.
Hopefully very soon we will connect with at least one and then the others will join. So let's see how that goes.
Yes.
So let's just go on to the Dominica corner. Whose turn is it? My turn, man, or your turn?
Your turn. Last week I gave you what I gave you last week. Morning.
It's my turn. Yeah. Wasn't No. I gave you something to do with Calypsonians and
yes, you gave me Calypsonians. That is so true.
Okay, I'll go. What are you going to say? I'll go. I'll take the turn now.
Take the turn. Let me see if I go.
Okay.
Meantime, let me try and reach out.
Let me start with a traditional ring game or traditional ring games. So when I start, you'll just continue. I mean, that's easy, eh? That's easy.
She say easy as if I do this ring game.
So Auntie, Fred your needle.
Fred your needle.
And come on, the Nigel and.
But that's what it say.
That's the same one that has long Lucy marrying.
Auntie Fred your needle.
Long Lucy. Can I remember used to say long Lucy married didn't. Oh my goodness. Another one, Nigel. Kunacha.
Is that? And Kunacha. I don't know that one.
On the way to moonshine, the best of all. Hey la, cassava. On the way to moonshine.
I don't know that one.
Something like that. You know, so mama, oh my little Zana said, hey la, Zana. You remember that, Nigel? Come on, Nigel. Who forgets this thing?
But I don't know all those words the way you say.
But Nigel, you didn't go to St. in school, man.
I don't feel those words you said is the correct words there.
Well, something like that. Anyway.
That is your only
something. No, Nigel. We used to sing. Okay, long Lucy. Remember that, okay? Ziggly, your turn.
Ziggly, bow or something like that, right?
So it's like Ziggly, Marvin Stone, Penta, Pete, Poof. Well, no, we're good to it, Nigel. What is those words there? Where they came from? Somebody's on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You so love me.
Okay, you want to cry. Okay, one more. Zing, 1, 2, 3 on a zing.
What?
Let me call Alicia Griffith. I'm sure she can remember those things. Come on, Nigel.
After a few weeks, please come and help me because I don't know what I'm going to do with me this morning there.
I said, Ray, along you fall. I pick, wanna pick, no repeat. Okay, categories. Let's go. Categories.
Oh, I remember categories. Name of or something like that.
So
right?
Names of building, answer.
Right, names of building, ministry.
Nigel, you're not ready. You ready to go to St. school, man? I mean, who comes with a proper name? It's like my mother building, my father building. Anyway, yes. Ooh, Nigel, where's
Lord. Okay.
And one more. When I say infix me, what would your response be?
I don't answer it now.
Why? Why?
Bye-bye. I was saying now what
Okay,
I
Papa.
thought. It
Nigel, let's
beats
bring on
me.
our guest. Then who's there already?
So I think Sherrod is there. I think Sherrod is here with
Okay,
us.
so we are the others. We are the others.
So let me get the
But
others
as you said,
rolling.
the link says
Um,
9:30. So
yes, yes,
so
yes. So
probably
they're early, you know.
okay.
Um,
So let's see. So we can
um,
bring who's on. We can bring
let's
her on.
see, let's see. 1 second here. Um, you and a message I sending them to make sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay. Thanks again.
Mm.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks again. Send. All right.
You are
They receive
you
it.
are the
So that's
producer
good.
of today's program. So if you see your fail, Nigel,
But if I feel like in trouble
I
there,
listen because
already.
it's Matthew write a story on you. Yeah, I warning you.
Youngster, good morning to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. All right. So can
Yes.
we bring that person on? Is that
Well,
first
we
person
can bring
on?
Sharon on because she's already on, so that's fine. We can bring her
Okay.
on.
So
You
hi,
know.
good morning.
Good morning
Good
to you, my dear
morning.
Sharon. How you doing?
Oh hi. Okay, I'm
I'm
seeing you.
doing I'm doing great.
Okay, that's nice to know considering the circumstances. We're trying to see if we can make connection with the others, but we have you on, so we'll start the ball rolling with you.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Our internet is very unstable,
yeah, I
so
can
we might
imagine.
be going in and out.
Yes, yes, yes. We have made way for this. We understand the issue, so that's
Right. So
okay.
this is Peter Martinic, and I have here with me Michelle Francis. Nigel, y'all have some connection there. And
Hmm.
when she heard your name, she said, "Oh, Francis."
Hmm.
So I let Michelle. Michelle was the first person to hit the ground when after the hurricane.
Hmm.
She's a former teacher, and she would tell you exactly what is happening now in Grenada, in
Okay.
Pitamathnik, rather. Well, it's Grenada, but Pitamathnik
Hmm.
in particular.
Hmm.
We have a team here who is holding down. We're holding down the island. So I'll turn you over to Michelle.
Okay. Hi, Michelle.
All right. Hi, 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 Michelle.
Hi,
How you
Nigel.
doing?
How's it going? Pretty
I
good.
see you all dressed and
Yeah.
holding down the area. Just tell us when you see we have a whole
Oh
team in
yes, we have a
library,
whole
right? That
team.
That's the whole
Is this an
emergency team.
emergency shelter or what is happening there?
This is actually our what we call our ground zero distribution center one.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes. It's also attached to the actual shelter. So we have shelter and distribution on the same grounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So it's nice to connect with
Take us
you.
back, take us back if you can, Michelle, to that time when Hurricane Beryl came over. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
around what time did it hit Ampeded Martinique, and what was it like for you guys?
Well, I was not, to be quite honest, I was on the mainland Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
So I got just the brush of it. But persons like Mr. Logan standing here, stand, quickly introduce them.
Yes. Yeah. Go
Terence
ahead.
Logan,
Mm-hmm.
Slogan.
Matson Francis,
Gary Blair.
Gary Blair. So the trio were members who were actually in the belly of the beast, if you
Wow.
want to say that.
Wow. Wow. I mean,
So
Hurricane Beryl, of course, caused unimaginable damage to SVG and Grenada. And to hear your story this morning, for us, that is very, very important because we want to connect. We want to get a feel of what you really went through. I mean, we have had a lot to deal with in Dominica as well. But to hear your story, that, would really shed some light and give it a personal touch, sort of. And so, yes, we are
Yes.
ready. We are ready with this. So give us a little of your background.
So for my background, as Sharon mentioned just, and I'm actually a teacher from the United States. I just happened to be here.
Okay.
And as she mentioned, as sort of an Armstrong moon landing, I was one of the first person to hit the ground here.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not in the belly. So I was not as shell shocked as
Uh,
Mr. Logan and Maxan.
uh-huh.
So I think I would prefer to have them tell you some of it from their perspective.
Okay.
When I land to, sort of pick them up from the ground. So let me let Logan speak for himself because he would have a better personal experience to give you than I would have.
Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Yes, Logan.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Logan.
Hi, Logan. So, of course, Nigel, sometimes it will dip. take a dip.
Yes,
And then,
that's
come
going to
back up because we
happen. That's going to
understand that.
happen because we understand totally what it
Yes,
is
when you
like over
understand
there.
that, the hurricane
And
left a
we
path
even
of
appreciate
destruction.
the fact that they're linking with us.
From Nadma, I was part of the 5 team that started that started the pro process for relief. Started the pro process of activating the shelter. The morning when the hurricane reached us, I mean, we was out the morning because we activated this shelter around 12 on Sunday. So 6 o'clock, we was out. We came back at the shelter to make sure everything good. We brought more food and water, and we left around 8 o'clock. But the hurricane actually touched us around minutes 10, around that time. And man, it was I have never experienced this type of thing, this type of weather before. I never experienced that before. We were kind of frightened, but we just have to hold the fort because at home at Miami, I had my mother, my aunt, my cousin, someone on the wheelchair that can't even move, and the entire roof gone. I mean, the first part when the hurricane passed through, our roof gone. So it's a good thing we had a downstairs that was able to go downstairs and shelter the hurricane. When the eye approached, as if it was daylight, and then we came out to shout out to our neighbors. When we come out, our neighbors roof gone, and so much roof gone. So we try to shout out to a neighbor if they are okay. And everybody starts coming out and say, yes, we are okay. Wow. And then we make sure everybody around us okay and say, let's get back in, because the second portion is coming down now. And that's when the disaster happened. Wow. And boy, when that part finished and we came out, I almost cried. Total disaster. All house gone. People end up under the house to shelter. Yeah. That will run out from inside the house to go under the house to shelter. It was not an easy situation. And we had some people start to bawl. I mean, they're bawling because they lost everything. They don't know where to go. Some people hands start to shake because they downstairs, the flooring was board. And when you get downstairs, there is water. And even though you have a flooring, it's board, water. Some of them cramping, they couldn't even close, they couldn't even open their hand because the water, they were soaked with water. Yeah.
Wow. What noises were you hearing at the time? Like for us in Dominica, when Maria struck in particular, we could hear the howling of the wind. We could hear some different noises that it was making, and of course you would hear the galvanized and everything flying. But what was it like?
Oh gosh, I put on to Gary just now, but I want to say, and then while we were downstairs, and with the pressure come, your ears, edge, I want to pop. It was so terrible and so man, I kept telling you, it was not easy. But Gary going to give you another story. Okay. So let us hand you on to Gary.
Yes, let's speak to Gary.
Yes, Gary.
Hi, Gary. Morning.
Good morning, Gary.
Thank you for reaching out to us, but I'm still shaking because I lost literally everything. Wow. I lost my beach bar, Gary Sauces and Snacks beach bar, which was located on the beach. I lost that with everything, and I lost my home. Luckily, as Terrence said, we had a downstairs. My brother had a downstairs. So my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephew, and my uncle, we was in the downstairs. And the first phase, just like a few sheets of galvanized went. But the second phase, after the eye pass, that is what destroyed everything upstairs. The whole forebrad side was down. Yeah, and then we was in the downstairs and it's ply. So the sheets of ply then start coming up and the roof of the flooring start lifting up. So my brother, my uncle, my nephew, and my sister-in-law, we had to hold on to the wood. And as the wind go up, we was going with the wood, hold down. Because my mother was there, she was soaked in water, sitting on the mattress, and she has Alzheimer's. She was just laughing because she doesn't know what is happening because she suffered from Alzheimer's. So we was there, then a galvanized company break the window, the pressure, break the window. We had to take a mattress and block it for the galvanized not to come in to damage us because he was literally stuck in the window and just ravaging. Our windows was break, our ears was popping like, you know when you're flying and the feet in the air,
Right.
It was literally popping, and I was saying, Lord God, we had enough. This is enough. Father God, if you're real, please stop this. This can be real. All my neighbors' house roof was literally gone. My auntie had a new house structure. Everything was gone. My sister-in-law house was gone, flattened. The fridge and stove was all the way down the road, like 10, 15 minutes away from where we were staying. It was literally a disaster. Trust me, that's never experienced that in my entire life, and I would never, not ever want to wish that on my worst enemy. It was frustrating. I'm still shaking. I'm still devastated. I still can't come to terms that I lost everything, but thank God we're alive. We have life today.
Yes, yes, definitely, Gary. We want to tell you, to hold strong. It's a situation where when those things happen, we question things, but the important thing is we have life, right? And then
Yes,
with life,
we have life.
we can
We can always
build
do that.
along the way, and we have family to help us along the way as well.
Definitely.
So I can imagine the experience that you've had. I know, like in Dominica, for those who in Dominica, when we had Maria, every time there's rain and every time there's wind, we start to, relive everything again.
Yeah, yeah.
So, has there been any rain or anything since then?
Yeah, we have rain constantly. We had a rain and wind yesterday, and everybody was getting scared. I was like, "What happening?" I said, "Just a tropical depression that's passing, so it's bringing some rain and some wind." And everybody was like, "I think I'm going home." But where is home? We don't have a roof over our head, but we're still going home. Yeah.
Okay, so again, can we can talk to you again? Obviously, anybody want to say something as well?
Maxan, 1 minute
Okay.
for Maxan.
Yes.
Yes,
Come on,
yes.
Maxan. How you doing?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you as
I'm
well.
here. Well, I mean, everybody has a story,
Oh,
yeah. But well, as for me, having recently buried my mom, who had Alzheimer's, we buried her less than a month ago, and yeah, she was suffering with Alzheimer's about 11 years, and I was the sole caretaker, so you know what that means.
Wow.
And then burying her about 2 weeks ago, less than a year, and then just moving straight into this disaster. It wasn't easy. I had my dad with me, 78-year-old. He has Parkinson's, so he has been shaking. Then I had another aunt with me again with Alzheimer's.
Wow. It's sort of deep there, but Nigel
Yes, and
with
we know that's going
Alzheimer's
to
as
happen,
well. She was saying about an aunt with Alzheimer's as well.
Yes,
So
the
her
aunt with
mom,
Alzheimer's and her dad who had Parkinson's and the
dad,
mom that she
wow.
buried, and then to face burial after that. I mean,
Still
less than a
doing some
week
of
after
that.
that.
We still
Okay.
try and form a group of 10 to get going on the island. But
Okay.
it wasn't, I mean, it was a battle that we fight, and it was really, 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 really rough, yeah. But as we say, we thank God for life, and we are here doing what we have to do for the island of Pitimatnik.
Yes, yes. So in terms of Pitimatnik now, I mean, is it a situation where like the entire area is like just gone? Are there all the houses destroyed? What's it like? Anyone can answer, anyone that's there. It doesn't have to be you, but anybody else. So what's the current situation like in Pitimatnik?
Right. So currently we sort of estimated about 300 homes. Based on the informal preliminary that we did amidst the trauma, we were able to count about 25 standing structures. Now those structures suffered severe damage as well, but enough to be standing, and we thought maybe those might be recoverable. But other than that, all the homes were just destroyed. Even if they were standing, the structural integrity is compromised.
Wow.
So what about shelter? So where are those people staying? Are they staying like in shelters? Do they have temporary?
Well, yes. So for the shelter, we moved from feeding 100 and about 124, then it went to 118. We now have 29 persons left, because once we were able to distribute the tarpaulin, persons were able to sort of cover their homes and try to restore themselves a sense of normalcy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And for those who just joining us, of course, connecting the dots, and we are connecting with our folks in Grenada and St. Vincent, and just kind of revisiting Hurricane Beryl,
yes, as a focus.
And what Hurricane Beryl did to
fury.
them and how they're recovering.
We want to see how we can put this in proper context. So is there really a proper context? Well, when you consider a hurricane which rose to category 5, and left a trail of destruction in several countries, But recovery from the damage is, of course, going to be very difficult as you know, you all rebuild in a sustainable manner. What is the main challenge right now as we speak? I know in terms of relief efforts that's underway, but what is the main challenge now?
Is
For
that question for me?
Yes, you can answer that question.
Yes.
So when you speak to people, what is the common thing that you're hearing from people?
So what is happening here, because Petite Martinique is somewhat remote, Grenada has 3 islands. It's the mainland Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. We're sort of a central in the St. Vincent Grenadines. And because of that, one of the problems we're having is having transportation. In the first 3 days, we had no communication. I had a satellite phone, which was the only means of communication through the mainland. So what was happening now that the relief is beginning to come in. However, as much as we have them in abundance, you know, we're not.
Okay, so Nigel, it has gone again,
Yes,
right?
and
Okay,
that
she'll
is
come on, she'll
expected.
come
We
on
also
again. Yes,
have,
we
you
expect
know,
this.
we also have some other guests with us as well. We have Ernie Harris
In
and,
St.
and
Vincent and the
Cecil and others
Grenadines,
from
yes.
St. Vincent.
They are on,
So,
Nigel?
St. Vincent round. Yes, they are.
Okay, so let's wrap with her. I think she's back on. Hi.
Yes.
Okay, so you were saying? Okay, I think it's still down on. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, just go ahead, Sharon.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so I was sharing with you that the island is very remote. The only access to Petite Martinique is by boat. And we don't really have like a transportation system per se. You may find 1 or 2 persons may have a private a golf cart or a dump truck, something like that. So we have a major challenge in getting things to the shut-ins persons in deep within the hills of the island. We had to literally carry it to them by foot. So that was one problem. Another thing we experienced was because it says Carriacou Grenada, persons were bringing donation and forgetting that the actual island is Petite Martinique.
Yes.
And
Okay.
as I said, we are in St. Vincent Grenadines. Because when I came from the US, my phone would say, "Welcome to St. Vincent." So we had some difficulties with that. Other than that, I think we are beginning to manage. The original 5 team is really good. We had Sharon Roberts joining us, and she and Maxon are both ex-NAGMA people, so they were able to help structure. I just happened to be one of the first human beings that landed here the morning and brought hope to the people, and I really just jumped on board with the team.
So what are the residents in Petite Martinique? How are they feeling? Are they still shaking up? Are they starting to get themselves together? What's it like?
As you would understand, they are quite shaken, but they're trying to.
All right, so it dipped again.
Yes,
so if you're just tuning in, we welcome you. It's connecting the dots, and we're looking at Hurricane Beryl from the eyes of Dominicans in Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and your friends as well. Yes, go ahead.
So we got the tarpaulin one day, and we didn't give them up. We weren't able to because we were loading, and that night is just thunderstorm. So it was just like, salt in the wound. So.
Yeah.
But they're getting together. I'm getting the volunteers out now. I have World Central Kitchen, which is a charity. They're providing hot meals and sandwiches and things like that for the residents. So they're providing food for us at this time.
Okay, so what we will do, we'll come back to you all in a short while. So just stick around.
Thank
And Nigel, we have Ernie on. We have somebody else on, right? From
Yes,
St.
we
Vincent
also have Ernie on. Ernie in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They also face Hurricane
yes.
as well.
So as we have Ernie on, Nigel, I'm just remembering and thinking to myself that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is still recovering from the impact of a major volcanic eruption in what year was it? 2021, 2022?
Yes.
And that displaced more than 200,000 people.
Yes.
Wow, and caused
so
much
have
damage.
To now face the Hurricane Beryl again. So, hey, good morning to you, Ernie.
Hi, Ernie.
Okay, so we'll.
Yes, Ernie, go ahead. Your mic may be off. Hi, Ernie. Okay, let's see if we can rectify that.
All right,
we'll have to send her a message.
So we'll come through to Ernie. Cecilia Benjamin, good morning to you.
Okay, so I think Ernie is trying to come on.
Oh, yes, Ernie is trying. Ernie, are you there?
We had Ernie, as I said, this after the volcano.
Are you there? Or I know Kathy is on too. Kathy, we have different people, so
we have a lot of people on. So
hi, Cecilia, how are you doing?
Okay.
Okay,
Very
so that's
well.
Cecilia talking now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
hi Cecilia,
talking
how are
now.
you?
Okay.
How are you
Um,
coping considering what you would have gone
oh,
through?
well, I'm in the south of Grenada, and we didn't
So,
get really hit.
uh,
We were hit, but just rain and high winds and so on. But we were prepared for it, but we didn't really get it.
Get it as such.
Okay.
We also have my dear brother Francis Uriah Peters. Good morning to
Yeah.
you, my brother. Of course, you and I go way back. We were in Jamaica together back then. I'm not sure if he's on. You, how you doing? All
okay.
right, so we'll
Mute.
come back with
He's
him.
on mute.
Yes, Cecilia.
Ernie, are you there, Ernie? Were you able to contact Ernie? Ernie, if
Yeah.
On
is
the
On
she?
mute.
So,
Oh yeah,
Hi.
she's on now. Hi, Ernie, how you doing?
Hi. We're okay, we're surviving.
you're
All
surviving.
We're
right, all right. So for
surviving.
those who don't know, of course, this is someone from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That Beryl also went there as well. So kind of overall, Ernie, what was the experience like over for St. Vincent?
Well, we were prepared to stay in our home, but we kept on getting reports that the hurricane was getting stronger and stronger. And my husband Cecil decided, no, we're not gonna stay here. So the night before, we went by the neighbor who had a basement and spent the night there. It was easy going. We had electricity, water, everything was good. And then 10 o'clock the next morning, guys, la place show. It's
Wow.
bitter, but to be honest, I think the hurricane dipped south. So we got the northern wind, which was it was substantial, but nothing like what Union and Carriacou got. We lost our roof. Quite a few people lost their roofs. We witnessed the neighbor's roof before our very eyes just lift up and landed in the street in front of us.
Wow.
But up to now we are still seeking shelter by our neighbor because we have no roof. It's water. It's every day sweeping out water to protect whatever we can protect. But it's we're surviving.
Did you like we heard earlier from our folks in Petite Martinique in terms of the sound of that wind, that howling sound and so on? Was that something that was similar in St. Vincent?
We had a lot. Well, for me, the hurricane was more wind than rain. So yes, there was the howling, but I wasn't in Dominica for Maria. I came shortly after to clean up. Okay. So I cannot talk about that, but I was there for David. To me, the howling was worse for David than this one for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it was there, a lot of wind. It was intense. It wasn't like Maria that, did like a blender, treated Dominica like a blender. It hit and it moved.
Right. Yeah, so again, for those folks who are joining us, this is Connecting the Dots. We're connecting with people across the region, St. Vincent, Grenada, and, we're trying to make sure we can have that connection and share the experiences. You, are you there for us?
Yes, it's still here.
Nigel?
All right, my brother. How you doing?
Yes. I am good.
Let's just get your full name. Let me just interrupt your full name. I know Nigel said you. What's your name?
Francis Uriah Peters.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's you. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, that's my brother from another time.
All right.
Spent so much time in Jamaica.
Pleasant memories with Nigel Francis, I guess.
Yes. Well, but as Nigel, as we said, this year makes 40 years since we went to Jamaica.
So you see how long the connection is. So in terms of Grenada, we have folks from Petite Martinique with us, and we should be having somebody from Carriacou in a few. What was it like for your section in Grenada?
Well, as one of the person who came on earlier, I also live in the south of the island, so we were not affected that much at all. Of course, there was high winds and the rain.
You're kind of low though. I'm you.
Yeah.
If I could use that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really want to hear what you're saying loudly. Okay, so let's go.
Yes, so I live at the south of the island,
Mm-hmm.
so we didn't get much damage. There was the winds and the rain, but it's more the northern part of Grenada and
Yeah.
the western side. But I guess the challenge on the mainland what we had was intense damage to the agricultural crops.
Hmm.
Yeah, so in terms of comparison to Carrickfergus, Martinique, and the other islands, we were not the houses were not damaged as much, but the crops, that were damaged. So I would not repeat a lot of the things that those who are affected would have said. But what I just want to make a statement here is that the issue of climate justice must come into play, and it's very powerful because as we continue to see that the
Climate
countries,
justice, I like that.
yeah, oh yeah, the countries that have contributed
Yeah.
the least to the climate change, we continue
Yeah.
to bear the brunt of
That's right.
Mother Nature's wrath year after year, as the planet continues to heat up. So, as a playwright or a person involved in the arts, maybe this is one of the themes that we have to take on most powerfully and let our voices be heard in the Caribbean islands because it's a big challenge.
I'm happy you said
Thanks
that.
very much. Yep.
I'm really happy you
Yep,
said
yep.
that because that's something Nigel we looked at last week as well. When we were starting the program in terms of this climate justice that he terms it as. But yeah, so as we continue, so what again do we bring on now? Stick around, stick around. I'm
Yeah,
you.
both stick around. Yes, definitely.
Stick
So
around. We are here
we
until
have
11.
Kathy. I'm not sure Kathy is going to be joining us to talk, or she just wanted to be part of the of connecting the dots this morning. But Sherrod, or we can go back to Pidit Matnik for a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. So currently, in terms of like supplies, do you have enough of that? Are things still coming in to Pidit Matnik?
Well, if food stuff is still coming in, we cannot have enough of water because if you know, Peter Martinique everybody had their own cistern, so they had their own water supply. However, the cisterns are now contaminated, so we need water, water, water. There are about 300 people on the island now. I guess Michelle and so told you that we sent the vulnerable down to Grenada and they're housed at different homes and so private homes as well as homes belong to the churches. What we need now is material to build back.
Right.
I think the people are beginning to come out of the trauma. And today we have a team coming and we'll be cleaning up, gathering the galvanized and people are beginning to put the tops on. So somebody's coming to talk to the kids because this is the first time I have seen like 10 children just sitting there looking at the ground.
Wow.
They're not playing. This is unusual. So the kids are traumatized. So we have some counselors coming in to speak with the kids today and coming back next week to spend the week on the island talking to families.
Nigel, this one is deep.
That's that one. That one hit me
really
hard,
touches. Yeah.
The kids. Yes,
I mean, it's
yes.
one
Now,
thing.
so
go ahead.
what I could do after, I could send you some shots. Yesterday, I went through the island. I was the first coordinator for Peter Martinique Affairs some 20 years ago. And I couldn't believe the destruction. My grandmother's house looked like you open a box of matches and you just empty it on the ground. Everything is, I can't find words to explain to you how terrible it is. I've been through Ivan. I worked at the U.S. Embassy at the time. And I'm a volunteer. I've been a volunteer with NADMA when it was Nero. Some 40 years now I'm working with disaster preparedness. And this is the worst I've ever seen.
I mean, we look at footages, we saw the apocalyptic scenes, in St. Vincent and Grenadines and in Grenada, the flattened houses, the damaged police stations, and, the houses, just the roofs gone and strewn all over the place, remnants of, wow, mangled and dismantled roofs. But to hear about the children, I mean, you said something there that will be forever etched in my memory. And of course, I've gone through Maria, Hurricane David, and a few others. But just to consider 10 children just looking at the ground, it's like this is a lot. This is a lot, and this tells about Nigel, I don't even know how to term it. It's
I mean, it is a situation where we sometimes, I guess, we don't look at the emotional the emotional effects of the hurricane. We see the destruction in terms of the physical structures and stuff like that. But in terms of the human and more so the kids, and what they are going through and what they went through, and just maybe still trying to process everything. You said you have counselors working with them, right?
They're coming up today for the day. They'll be working with the children, and from next Wednesday, somebody's coming to spend a week on the island to speak with everybody, the children. One lady, I just asked her, "How you doing?" And she just broke down. And I realized that they need to talk it out. It took me almost a year when Hurricane Ivan hit. As I said, I was working at the U.S. Embassy. I thought I was strong. I was okay. And when Beryl hit the following July, I went to pieces. And when I came up here and saw from Beryl, it's mind-boggling. I thought Ivan was bad. This is 10 times worse. It's a case of what house not totally flat, they're damaged. Nothing went untouched. So
this is really
that's tough to deal and having to deal with it every day in terms of seeing it. Ernie, in terms of St. Vincent, I know that Cecil might have gone to Union Island. I'm not sure if he's on or if he can share something.
He's right there.
He's right there.
Yes.
Okay.
So hey, good morning to you, Cecil. How are you doing?
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
I have been listening attentively to the various recollections of Hurricane Beryl. And I concur with most of what has been said in terms of the experience. Up here in St. Vincent, we got nowhere near what I've been hearing about in Carriacou and Martinique. And I can also say for a fact that we got nowhere near that in Mairo, Union, and Canoan, which I visited on Monday. Monday gone. So we took a boat and went down on Monday. And in Mairo, we didn't actually stop. We passed just on the outskirts, very close to the shoreline. The trees had lost most of their leaf and many broken branches, and that's the first indication of a significant wind event. You didn't have that here in St. Vincent. The trees did not lose their leaves. Yes, mangoes fell on the ground. All our mangoes from our mango tree in our yard were on the ground, and there were bushes that toppled over. But the true sign of a real wind force.
When you realize there's literally no vegetation left anywhere.
Correct. So that was the first sign that serious winds were in Mairo. Also, a very famous yachting destination in Mairo, which is actually the hub of their economy, Salt Whistle Bay. It's something like Scott said, where you have a little isthmus, but that was breached. So you can imagine in Scott said if the Atlantic actually came into the Scott said Bay. So that's what happened in Mairo. So that is very significant. Mairo has a population of 300, and that's really the source of their economy. All the yachties come there, so they're going to have to focus to repair that breach as soon as possible. Then we got down to Canoan. We got off in Canoan, and Canoan is significantly damaged. As one would expect, it was very close to the high winds that Petit Martinique and Carriacou. It's not very far from those two islands. So they suffered significant physical building damage and coastal damage as well. The airport is out of the airport building, and they had a couple hangars. One of the hangars is out of commission. Fortunately, there was no aircraft in it. And the building is totally out. The airport building is totally out of commission. We then moved on to Union. And that there was total destruction.
Wow.
Somebody mentioned the scenery resembling one of taking a matchbox and emptying the matchsticks, emptying it out onto the ground. That's what it looks like. I love Union. Ernie and I have spent many weekends down there, and earliest night we spent down there. I was thinking of buying land in Union, so I really have a lot of affection for the island of Union. But it just looks like a garbage dump. That's how bad it is. Clothes strewn everywhere, household effects, galvanized. And in these islands, the water supply system comes off the roof. So there are hundreds of water tanks in all various conditions of failure, strewn all over the place. As I say, galvanized rafters, doors, windows, furniture. It was really a sad sight to see. Someone asked, well, where do you start? Well, from where I stand, you have to clean up. Clean up is the first operation. You cannot try and fix inside that environment. You have to have a cleanup. The damage estimate here, the cleanup cost, not the damage, the cleanup cost in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has been estimated at around 17 million. I can tell you that because I work in the Ministry of Transport and Works. So that's around 17 million AC. That does not touch the damage estimate to repair the damage. That's just clean up.
Clean up.
Yeah, clean up. Yeah, that's just clean up. So, the other issue that we have now is, of course, we have to figure out what we're going to do with the kids who have to come back to school after the summer holidays. Yeah. So in the case of St. Vincent, plans are underway to transport the kids up to the mainland to see how best they can fit into schools. We have already identified a medical offshore schools recently left the island, and that building is available. They're trying to fix that building up for them. And then you have the attendant issues of you just can't send children up here on their own. The parents have to come too, so you have to find accommodation for the parents. There are a set of logistical issues that you have to deal with when it comes to the children. Someone mentioned 10 children staring at the ground. Very sad. I witnessed some of that among adults in Union especially, not so much Canoan. Canoan, when we landed at the port, somebody had already, that was a week after, someone had already set out a tent, set out their little stall. I don't know who they expected to buy stuff. Yeah, it was, the human spirit kicking in, set out their little stall. They still had some vegetables they were looking to sell. And there's a little building right at the end of the jetty on the land side. Where in Canoan, and they have a couple of shops in there, and people had opened their shops. That particular building was not damaged. God knows how, because it's so close to the shoreline. But in summary, St. Vincent itself did not suffer that much damage compared to Canoan, Union, Mairo, Carriacou, Petit Martinique. Those islands suffered severe damage, and it's going to take some years to recover.
Wow, Nigel, this is... I remember very early that Monday, I made contact with the manager of the radio station at NBC, I think. I'm trying to remember her name. Her last name is John. And then we had her on air, but then a certain time it cut off. And I called her later, and then realized that, at that time they were looking at the structural integrity of the building where they were, the winds were coming, so a lot was happening, and the broadcast ended. But before I could re-establish contact was way down later, and so, Nigel, it's really a harrowing experience. So anybody to go through a hurricane, and we went through Maria. And we were hearing this, and it just, comes back, comes back, especially very early in the season. And when you think
and
the season goes until...
the more frightening part. Early in the season.
Say that again?
We have 5 more months to go.
My goodness, yes.
Yes. And that's the frightening part about it.
Yeah, but let me find out from Grenada, though. I want to find out, though, what was St. Vincent and Grenadines as well, though. But what was the mood like before the hurricane? Give us a sense of the preparation that was ongoing. Were people taking, the warning seriously? What was happening on the radio and on social media? What was the mood like at the supermarkets? I want a sense of this. Or anyone can answer this.
Vincent?
St. Vincent, Grenada, and Grenada story as well on that aspect. But you can go with St. Vincent.
Okay, it's it was carnival time in St. Vincent,
yes.
8th and 9th. So everybody, we had a lot of returnees and visitors, and everybody, St. Vincent has a lot of carnival fest, day fest, leading all up to carnival. And everybody was like, nah, man, that's going north. And I kept on saying, no, it's coming. No, it's going north. Up to the day before the storm, people were at Carnival Fest. The Prime Minister kept on going on the radio saying, take this seriously, guys. We are going to get hit. We are going to lose roofs, maybe loss of lives. We have to be prepared. They went to their fests. They put a curfew. Well, not an official curfew, but they said you have to stop by a certain time. Everybody was upset. Everybody. People were going to the supermarket, buying a whole trolley full of meats. I mean, they were not prepared because I think the last serious hurricane was in the 1950s. So there's a whole generation that only they know about a little storm, but they never experienced this. So they never took it seriously.
I can give you a little anecdote that on the Sunday before, I was at Ace Hardware trying to buy some stuff, some more plastic bags and some polythene to cover down our mattresses and whatnot. And there were people at the paint counter at Ace buying paint. I don't even gonna buy paint. Are you serious? You're buying paint on the day before a hurricane's supposed to hit. And then another guy, so I'm next on a Vincent who has lived in Antigua and experienced hurricanes. And he's telling me, but Cecil, I saw a guy buying a fan. So I told the fella, I said, there's going to be no electricity, So I don't know why you're trying to buy this fan. If it is that you're trying to buy a fan to cool yourself down after the hurricane. So that just is a little insight into the lackadaisical approach that was taken here. And I'm compounded by the fact that it was carnival time. And the carnival fests the government had a serious decision to make in the sense that, how much of the carnival were they going to allow to proceed? Because carnival, the money spinner. And of course, if you think of all the contractual and financial arrangements that had been made prior to, with all the bands, the fests, the artists that were coming in from abroad. But the argument fell apart because to stop the carnival, because some people really wanted to stop the carnival. The argument fell apart because the bottom line was the carnival is still a week away, but that it would be the monies, the revenues generated during the carnival period that would help finance the reconstruction of the islands that were damaged.
Wow, that was an easy one.
That's a certain way to look at it.
And I want to come back to that though, but let's go to Grenada now. By the way, anyone on Nigeria that we haven't heard from?
Yes, so we actually have Cheryl. Cheryl,
we haven't heard. Yeah, I
so come in. We haven't heard. Just come in now.
Yeah,
go ahead, Cecilia. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you doing
today?
She's in the north.
I'm good.
Okay, tell us.
So I'm in the north, but I'm in Carriacou actually.
So this is Carriacou right now, live.
Okay.
We just arrived in Carriacou.
Just arrived.
Right. Yeah, we just arrived there. They're about to give us tasks. We come to do a major cleanup. Just behind me, you can see. Man, it's heart-wrenching what I'm seeing. It's even worse than what I have experienced in St. Patrick's. But it's good to come in.
What is the weather like? I don't want to interrupt you, though. What is the weather like? I can see a lot of clouds.
Today the sun is out. There's a bit of a dark cloud at the back, but we're praying that the weather stays open so we could do as much.
Okay, so tell us about that experience, Norman, what you're going to do now.
Right. So for me, I was in the north of Grenada, St. Patrick. We got the eye as well. For me, I remembered when the sound of the wind, it was like army flames taking off. My family and I went below, downstairs we had. That's where we sheltered and weathered through Beryl. We thought, I mean, we were safe. The only thing is we got water. We were flooded out, so we were on our tippy toes. But that was it. But for me, it was like I was 5 years when I experienced a hurricane in St. Lucia. And then that was my first hurricane experience as an adult. I mean, it was scary. It was like uncertain what will happen. But in the midst of it, I know my family and I, we did worship. We took a guitar and we just started singing out loud because the sound of the wind.
You took a what?
We took a guitar and started worshiping through the storm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because the wind was so loud, we did not want to hear the wind. But God in His mercies, I think two things I want to say. That the storm happened in the day, and that was God's mercy. Because I'm thinking if that storm had happened in the night, we would have lost more souls. And we are thankful for that. But it was when we got out from our homes and we saw the devastation. It was like, oh my God. And we saw what was left. Some buildings, some of the roofs were gone. And then after we traveled to St. Patrick, we saw a lot of people lost, the homes, the rooftops. And it's like words cannot express the experience going through a hurricane. I mean, you have to kind of sit down and pen out all the emotions that would have come out.
Wow. So you currently in Carriacou, but of course you live in St. Patrick. Is that what it is?
Yes, I live in St. Patrick.
Okay, so for those of us, obviously, not in Grenada, what's the distance like St. Patrick to Carriacou? Do you take how were you able to get there?
Right, so we woke up 4 a.m. We traveled on by bus about an hour, 15 minutes, and then we traveled up with the Osprey, which is the boat, which is about 2 hours, and to make it up to Carriacou. And now we are here. There's a contingent of people that have come, and we're trying to do cleanup. I mean, I can turn and you can see the different people there that have started to, I guess.
So the only way to Carriacou is by boat right now?
Is by boat, or you can take a small airplane. But right now it's really the Osprey doing a lot of the traveling and the people.
Yeah, I'm also looking at the screen, and our other friend in Grenada, Nigel. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
Yes. Sharon is in Pidit
something is happening, I guess.
So we're seeing some activity happening in Pidit.
But it's nice to see greenery as well. It's nice to see shades of green. Yes, our friend in Grenada.
Yes, tell us
what's happening now.
So the people are here. I told you about to deal with the children. I'm gonna throw Dr. Trevor Noel right into it.
Sure.
Just tell him what you're doing on Peter Martin.
Right, I don't know who this is.
Yes, okay, so that happens.
They will speak to the counselor.
Okay, so where's
it's no problem. It's no problem. So, Sissy, what you got to say?
Once you find them, you can talk.
Once you find them, just tell us.
They're now dealing with the children and Peter Martin. They're taking them onto the playing field, and they're going to be talking to them.
Yeah.
We also have.
Okay, she is cutting off again, Nigel. But
it's
nice to see the scenes, though. What is really happening?
Yes, Sharon, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Right.
Okay, so she's cutting off somewhat, but it was really depressing.
To help with the cleanup, they're beginning. Today is the first day that they're actually beginning to pick up the pieces. I must say, pick up the galvanized and. Because the whole place, as you see, is totally littered with all sorts of stuff.
So you started cleanup really today? You're saying that cleanup really started today? Or is starting today? I'm just trying to wonder, Nigel, different countries. I know, in Dominica,
right.
It was somewhat different, but
in a sense, to motivate the people, because the guys are just sitting there, lost. So now that the team is here, I think we will see the men getting up and helping to pull this place together. Because it's so small, but they're in such shock. Because Pitamatic is the kind of place where one family help the other. So you'll find a family with a house would help the son build a house, and they don't believe in banks and stuff.
Okay. Pool the resources. Someone else is. I'm also looking at another set in Niger, looking at the clouds and what is happening.
Yes, that's in Carriacou.
And I was saying earlier it was really depressing.
If Cheryl,
yes, it was really depressing when I heard the Prime Minister of Grenada, Deacon Mitchell, telling the UN that the hurricane devastated islands in Grenada, and that country needed anything, for a human being to survive.
Yeah.
And anything for a human being to survive. So when you put that in context, go ahead.
Came in, I knew that people were going to be bringing in food and water eventually. So
yeah, she's breaking up, and of course we can understand that.
Hammers and saws and nails.
Yes, wow.
Pull themselves together, So this is good. What is happening today? The children are excited because they see people come to talk to them.
Okay.
So I think it's all good. They're going to be okay. They're resilient people, and they're going to be just fine.
Wow, Nigel, this is touching.
Years, but they're going to be okay.
This is touching. Yes. It reminds me, Nigel, of Hurricane Maria. I was at work. I was working, and I was on air at the time. It was nighttime. And then I got a call from my home. My daughter was saying what was happening, Nigel. I just could not continue on air. I was so hysterical at the time. So just to think of your children, in a situation like
and what they're exactly.
Yeah.
But in terms of the cleaning up, Cecil, you mentioned that in Union Island, not Union Island, in one of the other areas that they're starting the cleaning up process. But what happens with where do they put all that debris, and what's the plan like for it?
Good question. They have identified a small area in Union where the cleanup and also in Canoan has started to put the debris. Part of the cleanup cost is in fact the rental of a barge to bring all the galvanized and the plastics to recycling companies either in most likely in Trinidad.
Just stick up in there. As you said, the rental of a barge. I also wanted to get a feel of what is the terminal, the ferry terminal like, in terms of when you look at tourism and the ferry service. You mentioned the barge. Was this compromised, the facility compromised in any way as well?
No. Okay. The jetties at Union was still functioning. The jetty in Myro was still functioning. And the jetty in Canoan was still functioning.
Okay, so go on.
They were still functioning. Of course, they needed improvements prior to the hurricane. So you can imagine now they need more improvements, but they were sufficiently undamaged to allow landings to take place.
Okay, so the barge, the debris will be put on the barge. You were saying?
Yes. Well, these arrangements still have to be formalized and worked out. But that is the concept that a barge will come in and collect all the galvanized and the plastic tanks, or whatever that can be recycled. The rest of the debris, what do you do with that?
Yeah.
And so one could take the easy way out and said, well, we just pick up part of the island and push it out into the sea. And the environmentalists, of course, will have to kick in on and have an opinion on that.
Yeah,
and they were going to seek advice from the northern islands in the BVI, Turks and Caicos, and Antigua, Barbuda, where these events have taken place on these small islands. And what did they do with their debris? Because the islands are way too small to find locations to store the debris. The landfills on Union is already maxed out, and they bring stuff up to mainland, to the mainland landfill. Similarly in Canoan. So these are details, necessary details, important details, which still have to be worked out.
And if Sharon, you just tune in, let me just tell people, just tune in, Nigel, quickly, that we are looking at the effects of Hurricane Beryl in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and in Grenada, of course, we know in SVG, the islands that were really badly affected. Union Island you mentioned, and Miro, right? Not Miro, but Miro. And
Yeah, they call it
Canoa.
Myro. Yeah.
And
Myro,
Canoa.
Union, and Canoa.
Yeah, so we have people on the live, Nigel. I know on Saturday it's not really a day when a lot of people will be on the live because it's a very busy day for a lot of people, doing their commutes and doing different things. But I'm happy that, we have people looking at this and that they have the opportunity to look at it later as well, to capture it if they can't capture it right now. Because it's a
and Cheryl, I see that you so tell us what's happening right now. This is Kairoku, of course, in Grenada that was badly damaged as well. Just tell us what's going on right now.
So right now on the ground we have a lot of work crew. I'm sure what they're doing is they're taking little by little we're taking from one end of the city is that way. So we're working our way into the city. Taking the stuff, all the debris, putting them on trucks. And then I don't know where they're gonna dump it, but that's what's happening now.
Yeah, which is the same thing we were talking about. Where do you put all that debris?
But they identified a few plain fields where they're going to put them.
Okay.
Both on Grenada and Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
Imagine that. Then you have to identify a place and places to put debris, and you also have to identify places to put, people who have lost their homes. So you have to set up tents and things like that.
And also the people who come to help.
Well, that's
national people.
That's so wow.
Yes. So and Sharon in Petit Martinique, in terms of the debris, what are any plans? How are they going to address that?
Well, what they told us is just gather it and it will be collected.
Okay.
Because we were thinking that the galvanized one thing, but we also have a lot of garbage. So on the fifth day, when I saw the amount of garbage, and in Petit Martinique, they normally send a boat from Carriacou to pick up the garbage. But I had to tell them that Carriacou itself is in a mess.
Exactly.
So what I got them to do was to burn the garbage, dig a hole, and bury the garbage and burn it.
Okay.
That's on the fifth day. But now the police is saying they don't want to encourage burning. So I don't know.
I see we have someone else. I see we have someone else on Nigel. So we could come in,
I see we have Dorothy Wills. I think Dorothy's just joining us to be part of
Dorothy.
That. We also have someone else that'll be joining from Grenada as well. So while she gets herself organized, but that brings us to the bigger question, which is something that Cecil was talking about and others are talking about. And after the hurricanes, what do we do with the debris? We need to have the Caribbean, because we're so prone to to hurricanes. We probably need to at some point get together and have a strategy, have something put in place for the different Caribbean countries as to how we're going to disperse of those things. Is that something you think that's needed, Cecil?
Okay, hold on. Cecil just had to
leave. No, he can come back. That's all right. That's okay.
Or anyone who has not come on as yet could come in now, and then we'll hear from Cecil.
Yes, definitely.
Because I saw a lady a short while ago. I'm not seeing her now.
Yeah, I think she came on and then disappeared. But Sharon, in terms of the counselors, are they now talking to the kids? Is that going on right now? Are they?
Okay.
The counselors have gone to. Is it the playing field? Where they gone to? They're gone to the tennis court.
Okay.
Because there are lots of debris there. So they have the children at the courts at the moment, and that a helicopter has been coming in occasionally. They came in. That's Samaritan Purse. They brought in tarpaulin and stuff, but they would normally tell us when they're coming. So then we'll get the children off the court, so the helicopter could land.
Okay.
Although yesterday they landed on the only standing jetty. So
only standing jetty. Wow.
I mean, when I'm
The
listening to
problem
the,
we have right now is the rains. We had so much rain yesterday, last
Yeah.
night, and this morning.
Yes.
Lots of rain.
A lot of rain.
But yeah, lots and lots
Interesting
of
though,
rain.
because when Maria, we had a lot of sun after a lot of. I mean, we were praying for rain because people have to be going far distances to collect water. So in a way, it's a blessing, maybe in a way.
The other way.
But then
the,
again, of
the
course, it
problem
hampers the
with the
effort.
rain now,
Mhm.
yeah,
Go ahead,
people are
Amy.
beginning to wash what's left of the clothes that they gathered
Yeah.
because they lost everything. Everything. I mean, you can't imagine when I came onto the island and when I was leaving on Saturday, some people were asking me, "Can you bring me some underwear?"
Yeah.
So that's how bad it is.
Wow.
And now somebody told me they just found one of their tops hanging on a tree. You gather your clothes, you wash it, and the rain comes. So yesterday was a very depressing day.
Okay.
But
Wow.
today the sun is out, so that's all good.
That's
And I always tell them the Bible says, and it came to pass. It never said, and it came to stay. So this too will pass.
That's
yes,
right.
Yeah,
that is
this
so
will
true.
pass.
That is so
I
true.
was
That
reading
is
a
so
news. I read a news item this morning. I was just browsing through, from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the police force there was requesting the cooperation of relatives of deceased people on the mainland to assist in the identification process at the Kingston mortuary, and this includes, of course, those who would have perished, during the passage of Hurricane Beryl. So depressing news, a lot of depressing news.
It is. It
when
is.
when a hurricane caused destruction to a country.
Yes.
But
I'm not sure if
thank God
Cecil
in
is back.
Martinique we lost
Cecil is
no
not back.
lives in Peter
Okay.
Cecil is back?
Oh, sorry. What's that,
No.
Sharon?
You were saying Cecil is not back as yet?
No,
that's
he's
okay.
Okay. No, he's all right. He's
No,
okay.
no. That's okay.
our
That's
house
okay.
next door.
He's okay. And,
That's okay. That's
yeah.
okay. That's okay.
And I was talking about St. Vincent, Nigel. Also, I'm sure you would have heard Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell. He told a press conference late that very same day. It was very late. At that time, he did not even look at the extent, of the damage that was caused as a result of Beryl. So he said that Carriacou had been flattened in half an hour, and that just stays in my mind. And now by Tuesday evening, after visiting Carriacou, he described Armageddon-like scenes of almost total destruction.
Wow.
Guys, Cecil is back.
He's back. Okay.
Yeah,
So
he's
now
back.
you ask
Okay,
us
yes.
the question.
No,
I may
Cecil.
have to,
Go
I may have
ahead,
to leave
Cheryl.
you guys, but I was saying
Yeah.
exactly that's what Carriacou is like. I was in Carriacou days. They're coming back now. It's heart wrenching. I mean, I'm telling you, they don't have no house that didn't get damaged. Those who were blown away, roofs that were gone. I mean, it's just looking at it, it's like a war zone.
Wow.
That's exactly. So yeah, it's like wow. I think it's being here. It puts things into perspective because you see stuff, but being on ground, you can actually realize what is happening. It's devastating. That's very real. It will take years for this place to actually function as a normal Carriacou that we know.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the
And you're saying you can only get to Carriacou via boats, and once you get there, and you actually see the destruction. It's almost like flattened, right?
Yeah, flattened. I mean, the word can't even be described because being here in May and being here now, I mean, the places that we visited, places we stayed, they no longer want all are just demolished.
Wow.
Wow.
Right.
And I wanted to
when you look at some buildings, wall buildings, they're demolished.
And it's interesting, Ivona, because here we are connecting the dots, right? Our Saturday program, and we have Grenadians, we have St. Lucians. By the way, Cheryl is from St. Lucia, so we have Grenadians, St. Lucians, we have those in St. Vincent, of course, Dominica here, and we're connecting those dots, of course, through destruction, if you want. But it shows again how in the Caribbean there's that connection, and we all face certain things, and being able to develop one policy to deal with those things is important.
Yes, and when it comes to resiliency, we have that, in the Caribbean.
Yes,
Dominica,
yes.
we went through a lot, The memories are fresh for many people. Maria messed us up badly, not just infrastructural damage, but many people have still not bounced back from this trauma. So I'm happy that the counseling has started, especially for the children, because this is needed and has to extend to the adults as well.
Yes, and Cecily was saying earlier, because we seem to have the same problem in Carriacou, the same problem in Petit Martinique in terms of the debris and what needs to be done. So I was suggesting, I was just throwing out maybe it's something that the Caribbean has to look at in terms of developing some kind of policy or strategy for the after effects and how to deal with those things, right?
Yes, it's a tricky one. Tricky both technically and politically, one could even argue. You could imagine, what would be the position of the, let's say, I don't just pick Trinidad because they're one of the largest islands and they have a large landfill. So what would be the position of the Trinidadian population to hear that debris is coming from the Grenadines to be dumped in their landfill? I just posed that question with not casting any judgment. I'm just saying there are technical and political issues to resolve it. So it's tricky. It is tricky, and it would be for somebody who is technically competent in the area of waste management to answer this question of how do you get rid of all of these this type of debris following. But I am sure the science is such that there would be efficient ways of disposing of this material. I think that the environmentalists would have to take a more pragmatic view. That if I were to dump this material offshore, or even just try to reclaim some land using this debris, and that they would be able to rather than take an extreme position and keep everything nice and pristine, that the pragmatic issues to be dealt with here. Real life
I tell you.
Okay, so a lot is happening, and that's anybody else, by the way, Nigel? Anyone else we have not heard from that is there on the
well, there's someone here, I'm not sure. It just says the iPhone guy. I know we had different people that was connecting, so I mean they can jump in because we have, like I said, we have trying to touch base with everybody everywhere we can.
So go ahead. I want to tell you something here. Something ironic. The only two buildings that's standing perfectly, only minor roof damage, are two buildings that's over 100 years old. Wow. The Catholic Church and the school.
What does that say?
Wow.
Those two buildings are over 100 years old. That's my parents were christened in the Catholic Church. My parents went to the school here, and their parents before them. So the school is actually over 100 years old. Let me see if they give the date. No, they didn't give the date. But I went to this primary school. I went to that church on the hill, and all they had was minor to the roof. The structure is perfect. So I don't know what to say about that.
Yes, that's something for the structural engineers and the civil engineers in terms of
how structure is sound do we build?
Cable room.
Hello. You want to weigh in on that, Cecil?
No, he left. Listen, guys, we have to go.
Okay, no problem. We have other people.
I'm going house hunting. As I said, we have no roof. Wow. So we have an appointment now to go and look at a house.
No, so we understand that. And Ernie and Cecil, thank you so much for joining and sharing and connecting with us. I mean, in the midst of all that, you still found the time to share, so we really appreciate it.
No problem.
All the best on your roof and trying to get your materials and everything sorted out, and all the best to the people of St. Vincent as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And all the best to my Grenadian people. I love Grenada and I love Grenadians. All the best to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. I spent some of the best years of my life in Grenada.
Wow.
So all the best.
Thank you.
One love
Wonderful.
to everybody.
Thanks for
Bye.
connecting. God bless. Yes.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Nigel. But it's really a pleasure. Of course, we still have a few on the line, so that's good, Nigel. I'm also thinking as well. So when this happened, I was trying to get the Prime Minister. I think I got his secretary. I did not get the Prime Minister. At that time, the connectivity issue was real. So that was just after the hurricane, and I also tried to get the Prime Minister of Grenada. So I'm hoping, Nigel, that maybe I can get them during the course of the week, because we want to get from this standpoint, how do you move forward, with a disaster of that magnitude? When you consider, obviously, the climate change, that crisis that we did not cause, but we are paying for it dearly in the Caribbean. So
and that's the unfortunate thing,
How do we rebuild in a sustainable manner? When you hear that the Catholic Church stood strong, and the other buildings stood strong, but the other houses were wiped, So there are so many things that we want to look at
which takes us to the whole thing of building climate resilient houses and so on. That's something that we've been talking about. How do we ensure that we're able to withstand those hurricanes, the winds and the rain and everything else, and have those structures still standing.
Because Nigel, about 98% I'm hearing of houses, building structures were damaged or destroyed, and then almost complete wipeout as well of the electrical grid, and you're looking at the communication system. So Nigel, there are a lot of things that we have to look at together as a Caribbean people to ensure that we can withstand storms like that, better.
Nigel, one of the things that I've been pushing for some years now, and I heard my Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, talk about when rebuilding in Martinique, for example, that we put the electric lines underground. A lot of damage was done because of the poles falling and stuff like that. I just saw one of the linesmen on a pole, so it means that the school is going to have electricity tonight, because they told us that once they repair that little damage on the roof, the school, which is being used as a shelter, will now have electricity tonight.
And that's good news. That's welcome.
That is good news.
Nigel, by the way, anybody saying anything on the live quickly, because they are on the live, and we also have to involve them in this.
Yes.
Let's just look quickly at the live has been going.
The live on Facebook has been going tremendously well, and Alvin Thomas is mentioning the fact that about the waste management system. Good morning to you, Frances, my sister, who's also talking about waste management and what we can do with the whole waste management process that we have. Let's see. Olive Pelty, what does climate resiliency look like in the Caribbean? When we stand in the path of hurricanes, Jokan believes that we should come together as Caribbean people and find a way out. So there's lots of messages going on here on the Facebook page. Urban Roy says the OECS, they need all hands on deck. So let's get together and help our brothers and sisters. So quite a bit of discussion going on there as well. Crispin Shillingford, good morning to you as well. Just want to let us know that Beryl also affected to a certain extent Texas, Houston. Got a little bit of Beryl as well. So praying for all the Caribbean countries. Alicia Griffith, of course, good morning to you, my dear. Sending love to everyone, especially your sister guides and brownies over in Grenada and St. Vincent. So a lot of discussion going on here. And of course, we always encourage folks to go back and look at the program and see what is taking place, what's happening. Cheryl, so right now, I guess the counselors are talking to the kids out there. The rest of the guys are beginning to probably help in the cleanup process. Have you seen other Caribbean countries coming in to help Pidic Martinique, whether it's for power or anything else?
Yes, I know. Well, not so much for power in Pidic Martinique, but we have, I think, two is it the Caribbean military?
Yes, the SSU.
SSU.
RSU.
Two officers, RSU, two officers from Dominica here, and I think two from St. Lucia were here. and they swapped 2 days ago. So the Dominicans are here and the St. Lucians are back in Carriacou. We only had like 5 police officers on the island because Peter Martinique only got a police station some 20 years ago. For years in my parents' days, we had no police on the island. They police themselves. So
let me just ask. Let me just ask very quickly, Sharon. How large is Petit Martinique? What was just the general idea as the size? Like, is it, you know?
You could run from one end to the other in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, okay. I've been to. Well, I haven't been to Petit Martinique. I've been to the country, but
it's very tiny. We have normally about 900 people on island, but right now with the vulnerable off and other people getting off, we have about maybe just over 300 people here right now. I tried a minute ago to take you to the court where the councillors were, but we're losing internet.
Okay.
We only have at this point. So you could imagine in the evening, it's like an entertainment center when everybody come out to get a little internet. So
I can just imagine people trying their best. Well, at that time of the night to run and do all they can, send the messages and try and catch up on stuff and so on.
That's right.
Yes. So how does one get to Petit Martinique right now? Is it via boat as well, or is it motorable?
It'd have to be via boat. The helicopter belonging to Samaritan Purse come in occasionally. Like they came yesterday and they put up a system, I think it's a desalination system, so people can get water to wash and, you know. Or they came with tarpaulin one day and they dropped in the plain field. So other than that, you have to come up with a boat. We have a ferry that's supposed to be coming Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. But mostly, if you're in Grenada and you go onto the Carnage, you would find fishing boats belonging to the Petit Martinique fishermen, and they're traveling up and down. So you might get a ride, or you could come up with the Osprey and get to Carriacou and then over to Petit Martinique.
So, like, Cecilia, for those of you who are like in the south of the island, have you heard of people of any people going over to assist Petit Martinique or Carriacou, or has there anything been? No,
many people, many people. Until the Prime Minister had to ask them not to go because they're congesting things and keeping back the work. A lot of them are just going as sightseers, but a lot are going to help. And then they have to provide shelter. If they stay over, they have to provide shelter for them. They have to provide food, and then it is also compromising the people who are affected.
Okay. So I guess people just moving over to try and.
Yeah, that's right. They're taking the opportunity to go over and they say they're going to see their grandparent or whatever, but they bring older people back to Grenada. So.
And that's affecting the whole process. I know we were trying to get in touch with Cheryl. I'm not sure if you've been able to reach her by any chance.
That's Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl, yeah.
Cheryl.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess she did message me last night, told me she was going to send the information to her brother. By the way, her brother is a PS. Yeah. Is a PS, so we were trying to get him on.
Okay.
So
but I guess today they're really busy because today they're really doing the cleanup, you know?
Yeah, today should be a very busy day. I can understand that.
Yes, and that's understandable. What about the cleanup going on in Petit Martinique? Is it do they see that they will have it? I mean, the men are the men now starting to come out and do the cleaning. Yeah. Anyway, what took them so long? Do you think it was shock?
I think they're traumatized because, as I started to say, Petit Martinique people don't believe in banking so much. So they would build their houses. They do not owe banks and stuff. Recently, they started to borrow to maybe buy an engine for their boats because the way you have cars, the people in Pitamanik have boats.
Okay.
So that's their mode of transportation.
Understand. Okay.
So
What is
the guys are out today and they're beginning to I hope they continue when this team leaves. You know?
I wanted to find out as well, though, in reference to healthcare, what is happening at the main hospital and the other health facilities on island?
Well, on Pitamanik, we have one health clinic, and the doctor comes once a week on Wednesdays. But this last week, one doctor came up for a day, for like an hour last week, and this week, Dr. Marisho came up and stayed for 2 days. And he told me that he saw 32 people in those 2 days. We started to have an issue with children and gastro, but it's much better now because the 5 kids who came down with it are now up and about. So hopefully we've turned that corner. And he called this morning and said that he'd like to come back, not this following week, but the next week. So yeah, if a few doctors do that, we'll be good. They come, and even if they stay the day and go back the evening, that will be good.
I'm hoping that before we end the program, Sharon, that we probably can have a chit chat with one of the counselors. Maybe you can, if they can come to where you are instead of, that would be nice, just in case. And it doesn't have to be, if it happens, that's fine,
Let me see if I could get somebody to go out and get one of them.
Yeah, if you can, if you can, that would be fine.
Work, yes, we understand.
Find out what's, from their perspective, what's it like happening over with them, for that. I mean, one of the things I want to is, what I'm pleased about this morning is the fact we're able to connect with in spite of the connectivity and everything else, they're still making the effort to try to reach us and talk to us and connect with us and share what happened. I'm pretty sure for Dominicans, that kind of brings back a little bit about Maria and what they would have gone through, experiencing Maria, and hearing of the experiences of those in Carriacou and Pitamanik and St. Vincent. That's probably bringing back a little bit of memories for them, not pleasant ones, but reminding us in the Caribbean that, we are one.
Yeah, and the storms are now becoming more powerful. And, when we went through Maria, and when you consider where she was when she started, and then she just blew up to a category 5 quickly.
Yes.
Nigel.
But just a little side note, just a little fun. If you notice, most of the hurricanes that's coming as women, women names. I know women. Those guys, you see, guys are very nice people.
Messi, I don't even go in there. Yeah.
Just a little bit of humor in there.
We have
yes, of course. Unfortunately, Cheryl also lost connectivity.
Okay, so we understand.
That's the one in Carriacou. It just popped up. She's trying to see if she can reconnect. Well, we'll see if it happens, and that's okay. We totally understand.
I was just thinking as well, Nigel, what we could have done as well, what we did not maybe think of it, was to look at maybe get somebody in Houston, Texas, to see how they went through.
Yes, Eva did mention. Eva sort of mentioned
Eva
that
Luge,
to me.
yes.
Late kind of Eva Luge.
Okay.
Kind of
there are other programs we can look at this.
Yes, by then we were not able to do that, so and that's okay.
Let's see for what friend, but the person she was looking for in terms of the counseling. Any luck as yet on your end?
Any luck, Sharon?
And if
yes, Nigel, I have one of the counselors here.
Okay.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I think it just
it
dipped a
just
while,
rose
so
up
it'll
a
come
little,
back
but we'll get them back. That's okay. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you now. I can hear you. Thank you so much for connecting with us. I know it's a busy morning for you, and you're trying to make sure you can, get the kids and everyone
We're so happy to help, and we're so happy to be there for them. It's probably been such a confusing time for them.
Take us through what is expected. What is the plan?
So basically, we came here with a bunch of rhythmic activities, a bunch of mindfulness activities to hopefully distract the kids, not only to distract them, but to get their minds working and to teach them methods of
de-stressing themselves when they need to use it themselves. So we've been using a lot of drumming techniques, a lot of clapping. We've been doing stretching. We're playing team games with the kids so they can lean on each other in this time of need. And we're basically just giving them methods and tools to utilize when they need a minute and when they are at the high stress levels, because I'm sure that they go through a lot of high stress levels, not having to share a place with all the other kids, not having their home, not having their community. We've been bringing them toys so that they have stuff that they can play with, emotion handouts so that they can acknowledge their own emotions and they can identify their emotions that they're feeling. And we've been talking to them about their emotions as well to hopefully get them more comfortable voicing their emotions and how they're feeling in the time that they're feeling it.
So they voice their emotions. That's very good. I was about to ask you, do you get them to just relive the experiences, tell you what they went through and things like that? So they have a chance to talk a lot as well. So that's good.
Yes, ma'am. We ask them and we have emotion note cards. We ask them and say, what have you guys been feeling happy? Have you guys been feeling sad? Who's been feeling scared? Who's been feeling anxious? Who's been feeling alone? And so it gives them a time to speak out in front of other kids and for other kids to hear how they're feeling and to maybe pick out some similarities in how they're feeling themselves and to know that they're not alone in those feelings and other kids are feeling them too.
So overall, in terms of dealing with situations like that, because we have folks in St. Vincent and others that are also part of this program. So just generally, what sort of suggestions would you offer to them in terms of having to deal with, especially for the kids?
Yeah, I think I would just tell them to lean on each other and that they have each other and to lift each other up. I would also tell them and advise them to speak up when they're feeling a certain way and to voice their needs, because that's something that we're also doing, is asking them what is it that these kids say.
A deep to get Nigel, but very interesting what she's saying. The fact that they can come out and help the young people in particular, they're very young.
Being able to meet their needs so that other people feel comfortable listening to child needs, because their needs matter just as much, if not more.
And I really want to applaud you and the team for making this effort and realizing the importance of something like that very early.
Yeah.
So you're here for the entire day, or it's just what is the plan like going forward?
Yeah, so I think we're planning on coming maybe once a week or once every other week to Petite Martinique. I think we're definitely going to focus on Petite Martinique because there's a lot of moving pieces going around in Carriacou, and we can see that there's a lot of need and a lot of space for us to fit in here in Petite Martinique. But we're going to be coming every other week, or if not weekly, and we just gather them and we do a word of prayer. Then we do some stretching, we do some exercise, we do some breathing, and then we do some activities where they feel like they can have fun and they can let loose. And we give them a bunch of toys that they can play with, so that when we do leave and we tell them we'll be back, like we're planning on coming back, but when we do leave, that they have activities that they can play with and that can stimulate their mind.
And I know it's pretty early still in the process, but just what has been the response from the kids this morning so far?
They love it. They are so excited that we're here. It's big smiles all around. They just seem very happy. I think a number of they have a number of feelings that they're feeling right now, but I think a big one is boredom and not having anything to do. And so we are trying to give them stuff to do and give activities to play when we're not here, or if they want to play it with us, they can voice that to us and we can play that with them. But there has been a lot of showing for gratefulness and that we're so happy you're here. We're so happy we have someone to play with. Like, I can't tell you where my toys are. And so I'm really happy to have something to do and something to occupy my mind, because when we come up here and we first pull up, we just see them walking around and they're kicking rocks and they look a little bored. And so when they see us come, it's like, we're doing something. We're going to go and have some fun. And we're here all day. So I think after our lunch break, we were going to have a lunch break. We were going to do more activities with them.
Okay.
So I think it was going to be a 2 times a day kind of thing today, at least.
That's good. So let me thank you. I know you're busy. You have to get back to your duties. Just give me your full name again.
My name is Mia Bush.
Okay.
I'm working with Christina Domova Claire Stefik, and Caitlin Reyes.
Okay. How long have
And
you been doing
working
this?
under-
How long? How many years now? You have
So
been
there's
involved in
four
this?
of us. There's four of us interns. I think right now there's about 22 kids. We counted 11. We separated groups into groups of 11, so there's about 22 kids. And there's 4 interns, and I think we have some interns from Win helping us as well. And we have Donette and Jerry, of course.
Okay, now in terms of your experience, how many years as a counselor? How many years are you involved in doing this?
I have my bachelor's in psychology, and I'm currently getting my master's in international disaster psychology. It's the same for Caitlin, Claire, and Christina. We're all approaching our second year in our master's program. So we've been doing this probably, I want to say, like at least 5 years.
Nice. Well, we definitely want to thank you for your services. Thank you for what you're doing for the kids in Petite Martinique. Are you also in Carriacou or just Petite Martinique alone?
I think we want to go to Carriacou at some point, but I think Petite Martinique is just, there's not as many operations going on here that we've noticed when we first pulled up. So it's, when we first went to Carriacou, we could see all the boats and we could see all the people and all the planes. And when we pull up here, it's definitely more lacking in that respect. So we wanted to make sure that we gave them as much attention as we could. But I think we still have plans to go to Carriacou as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you again for what you're doing for the kids and for, sharing your time and love with them and doing all the activities.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time and taking the time to talk to me and for the opportunity to work with these kids. They're very special kids.
Okay.
Definitely. So, and tell your other counselors as well, thanks for what you're doing.
Sure.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
And if you ever get a chance, you always listen to DBS Radio. This is DBS Radio. And of course, we have a program on Saturday mornings called Connecting the Dots from 9:30 to 11. Where we connect people and we discuss.
Yay. Thank you. I'm so glad to have talked to you.
Same here. All right. Take care.
Okay, Nigel, I have okay, you take care. Take care. Nigel, I have a trophy for you, by the way.
Well, me too. I want to you
too.
Thank you so much, Sharon. We appreciate you having to do this. We know we've been having you going all over the place. Let me also publicly thank Cecilia, Gilda, Benjamin, whichever name she goes by, for helping to get the contacts, and Trevor Hamilton for helping to get the contacts for me as well in Grenada. Uriah Peters, my brother, thank you for getting the contacts in Grenada as well. We appreciate it. Cheryl, we know you wanted to be on, but of course, internet, activity that happens. So we appreciate that. And Cheryl, in Carriacou and from St. Patrick's as well, we appreciate you doing the contacts and making sure everything happens. We appreciate that, Yeah. So I want to make sure of that as well. So Sharon, what happens for the rest of the day in terms of Petite Martinique? What's going to happen? Is it, what's the plans like?
Well, they're going to take a lunch break, and then, as you said, they go back with the children. I'm going to take a walk through and see what the workmen are doing. I've been on island now for over a week, and I haven't seen my godmother, so I need to take time out and go and make sure that she's okay. And I'll head back down to Grenada on Monday and come back up, because I have a house up here, but I haven't done anything with my house.
Okay.
Wow. Oh boy. So I have to deal with that.
Service before self.
Well, I know the house is standing. I think 2 people just passed and asked me would I like them to go put a top on. So they're going to do that. Okay. But I'll come back up maybe in another week and do some cleaning.
But how are you though emotionally?
Petite Martinique is my heart. So I tend to get very emotional. That's one of the reasons why I just handed you over to Michelle at that point, because I realized I was on the verge of tears. Mm-hmm. But I know we're going to be okay. I know we're going to be okay because we're a strong people. And I'll be there with them every step of the way. I have a company that is owned by my nephew and I run in Grenada called International Support Group. And we actually called the Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs before the hurricane and pledged our support. We're a preventative maintenance company, and we will be here in Petite
Yes.
It happened again.
And of course, we expect that.
Yeah, we expect that.
we expect the dip here and there through the connection, but that's expected. And yes, go ahead, Sharon.
No, I was saying that our company is going to help build back Martinique. We made that pledge and we'll follow through.
Build back.
So I'm here for the long haul.
Wow.
And maybe in the next year you check back how Martinique. As a matter of fact, I'll keep in touch with you and let you know how we're doing.
Yes. Please do.
That's the connection we always wanted.
Give us the updates. That's the connection we love. We love to connect. So definitely keep us updated as to what's going on. I know it's been a long day for you, a long week for you. It's been a lot trying to get this going in Martinique and seeing all the destruction. And then I think what's going to resonate with me is the fact when you mentioned this 10 kids that's just staring on the ground. Yeah. That has stuck in my memory. And hopefully, as I said, the counselors can get them going and they can start to feel like kids again and enjoy life again and run around and have fun like they used to. Was the school, as we go now, in terms of the school structure, do you have is it primary school, high schools? What's it like?
We have a preschool and a primary school. They go to Carriacou for secondary school.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What's the distance between Martinique and Carriacou? How long? When is it a drive across, or is it that you have to take a boat all the time?
No, take a boat. The kids go to school. They leave here at 7:00 in the morning on the boat, and they go into Windward, and then they take a bus into school, and then in the evening, it's the same thing. You take a bus up to Windward and a boat back to Martinique. So it's a few people, like my family moved to Grenada when we had 5 people in secondary school on Grenada, because at the time there was no secondary school in Carriacou. And so most families travel every day. Those kids travel every day. And I tell you, a couple of years ago in Hurricane Lenny, there was this storm surge. And to see the kids get from the boat, they had to line up. The men had to line up. And somebody had to throw a child and down the line.
Wow.
And this is what the school children of Martinique experience on a daily basis. It takes about 20 minutes from Martinique to Windward for them to get the bus. And if they go into the town, it takes about an hour from here to the town of Carriacou, Hillsborough, for them to go to school. So that's
interesting and touching. But Sharon, we definitely want to thank you so much. I know we're heading towards the end, right? We want to thank you so much, Sharon, for sharing with us and for doing what you're doing. And for those we spoke with earlier, tell them thank you as well for sharing the experiences with us and for what they're doing. Continue to do it. God's blessing on you guys, and we continued strength for ensuring that you can rebound once again. Thank you so much.
Yes, I really want to thank you for your service to humanity. We need a lot more people like you, and I wish you all the best. I wish you health as well as you continue to go through this.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Yes, and Cecilia, again, thank you so much for doing this, and appreciate it. We will keep connecting, keep the connection, and we'll keep the updates going. Hopefully, we can get Cheryl at some point. Any one of the Saturdays, let us know what's going on as well. So thank you so much.
Yeah, when they're less busy and things are
yes.
We could.
By the way, what part of Dominica are you from?
Roseau, but we've been here in Grenada about 50 years, so 50 or more years.
All right, so you're Grenadian Dominican, all right.
Yeah, but I lived in Dominica, for two times in my adult life. I worked with the Ministry of Agriculture, and then I came back another time. So in between my degrees, I came.
Okay, wonderful.
Well, we thank thanks you as again. Well for agreeing to do this for us. I just love your spirit, And let me wish you the best as well as you go through this. It's not easy, but we can make it. We can make it.
We will.
Thank you
and the
so
Grenadian
much.
people will bounce back, just as Caribbean people always bounce back. We will bounce back and make it happen again. So thanks again.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. All right. Bye. Thanks.
Yeah, Nigel. Wow.
Man, this was good in terms of connecting with our Caribbean people.
It was.
A little different for our, connecting the dots. But I think it was good that we were able to connect with them and share with them. And they share with us.
Yeah, we had to do this.
Stories.
Yeah, heartbreaking stories, especially when you'd go back to look at it later on. In the heat of it, of course, you miss some things. But when you go back and look at it and you realize, wow, that's a lot that, we have to go through, Caribbean people have to go through. But I just love the resiliency of our people, and the determination to move on and to help others as well, especially in times like this. And we can only pray for the best for the countries. We are very early, as we say, in the hurricane season. Look at where we are. We're just in the second week of July.
It's just the second week of July,
and a powerful hurricane that destroyed.
Months to go.
We have quite a few. Yeah, we have a lot to go still.
Yes,
and I can just imagine for them, even the rain, it disturbs their memory. Any little wind, because we are still going through this in Dominica. Maria was in 2017. So yeah, it's a lot, but I'm happy that we could connect with them. We know Saturday is very normally busy day, Nigel. Even right here, some people tell me, I think you all should put the program to the night. But then we have people still on a Saturday. But Saturday is a very busy day.
We do. And,
we still have people in the
stores and doing it wrong, and you can always go back.
Sometimes it's only not only numbers at the given time, but the fact that the message can go out. That is what we are concerned
about. That's the connection we want to make sure we continue having. And especially like Cheryl, who was able to move from St. Patrick all the way to Carriacou, so we could get a little view of Carriacou and talk to us about Carriacou. So, which are places we don't normally talk about. So it's nice we had that little Caribbean connection.
So I'm thinking,
today.
Nigel, as well, when we started, we had our Dominica corner, and we're talking about some games, and you had to continue where I left off. And I'm thinking now of the children. I wonder what games they have in Grenada and and St. Vincent.
In some of the ring games the ring games they play over there.
Yes, and so on. So that would help as well. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the program. I was just looking at the live as well as we end. Alicia Griffith is saying we bounce back after Maria, and so they will bounce back. But I saw something about a BB, and a beer, and that has to do with Alvin Thomas. I'm not sure.
Yes.
You saw it, Nigel?
Joe Alvin, they're going to share a virtual beer later on.
Okay, all right. Sandra Norris, let me say hi to you. And what's that? Buzamai Gali. I'm heartbroken every time you mention the children touching. May God bless you, and your team. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really touching when you hear about children like that. And Sandra Green saying, "Wow, that's a lot for the children to endure." Hyacinth, I can't make out the last name, Voodoo, something like this. Blessings to her. Wow, Nigel, it's a lot. But we have to be there for them. I know Dominica has started in its assistance to the neighboring islands, our sister islands.
Yes.
A lot of countries as well. Canada has made a huge...
Gilda had also mentioned, or Sharon, one of them in my discussions with them during the week, that they know that Dominic was also sending a few people over.
Yes.
Some of the power guys.
Yes. So a lot still has to come from Dominica, and that's good. They're always ready. I think there was a radiothon recently set up by was it Rotary or the Rotaract Club? But yeah, there was a radiothon, and there's a lot more to be done. I know Sidema too is playing a major role in all of this. Canada has given a lot of money already. So the disaster efforts are ongoing, and I really want to applaud. So we'll see what we can do, in the weeks to come. There's still a lot more.
Yes, definitely so. And Cheryl is saying, "Do you want me to come back on?" No, it's okay. That's Cheryl who is in Carriacou. She had lost Wi-Fi, but she's back on now. We will keep the connection with them, and we will share, some of the updates that's happening there with them when we connect again. You know what I mean?
But that was good, Nigel. I mean, into the connection with them. I mean, it's not the first time we have done that. I remember when the volcano struck in St. Vincent.
Yes,
it was really a painful ordeal as well to go through a program like that.
Yes, we connected with them.
Strikes,
now the hurricane. So that's what we do. We connect the dots, right?
Yeah, Nigel. So we'll do it again next week, God willing.
We'll do it again next week.
We have a guest line up, and she's ready. But we have
she's
to bump
ready
her
and
off
rolling to go
for this Saturday to put on somebody else. So we'll see if we'll come in for next week, or you know how things unfold. But we'll make it work. At the end of the day,
we'll make it work. We'll make it happen.
All right, Nigel.
All right?
And all those on the live, thank you so much. That's your way. Say goodbye. We'll do it again next week, God willing. Stay tuned.
We do it again. Thanks.